really good last match he had where he was just shutting them down. But he's been very good in his plays. I remember we were talking about him on those entries, his IQ on Villa. It was just nuts. He just kind of run in. That was on play day 1, I believe, just playing it. We'll be playing on Bank. A good map for both teams.
Yeah.
They played it a fair bit last season. In fact, they played it against each other in the first half of last season. And of course, Evil Geniuses with the victor, as TSM didn't have a whole lot of success last season.
And it was a different Evil Geniuses.
And a different TSM in that sense.
So,
but that being said, the second half, TSM did have a better run on Bank. And EG have always had a good history on Bank for most part. So this should be pretty good between these two.
What do you guys think, though? Show us the money.
Wow, that's probably one of the lowest ratings I've ever seen for EG.
Well, for EG, I'm like,
no, not
every time the least one.
Yeah, but that's pretty low for EG. Like this is
we've come to a time and space where people voting the popular vote for EG.
Don't try and adjust the horizontal or the vertical, as vertical lost earlier. So.
Honestly, somebody posted that you remember that photo we took at Invitational 2018, all 4 of us at the top of the casting desk at Invite.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, and
I got sent that picture.
Yeah, and there was a post on the subreddit that finally had a full edit of only Emzos, all 4 of them. And one of the comments, I don't remember who it was, but one of the people were saying, "Hey, imagine what it'd be like with 4 Emzos. The level of dad jokes that we'd be hitting is just new dimension."
They'd be granddad jokes at that point. Well, a Thermite ban, interestingly enough, instead of a Hibana ban on Bank. Jackal ban is not too unusual. I don't know if we've really seen a ton of them lately, but it makes sense, I suppose.
He's not been like such an influential operator.
I mean, that speaks to wanting to roam pretty heavy. Valkyrie ban, there are going to be usually Valkyrie camps spread around the map, but honestly, like I would rather take Echo or Maestro out on this map. But hey, preferences are preferences, and that's what TSM wants to wipe out from play. So
just to shut down some sort of like just the extra outside of sight information gathering, right? That the Valkyrie brings. So they're not going to be using that operator, so you can kind of play around this one. Now the Jackal, I said that he's not really been having much of an effect.
Polo.
Thank you very much for that.
Trying to keep us entertained here with the 6th pick.
But I really want to explain why I say that. A lot of times we don't get to see the effect of Jackal, where we're expecting him to kind of scan and somebody else to get a kill off of it. A lot of times when you're just scanning, you're at least giving your teammates information on where the player is, even if it's an anchor, just so you can prepare yourself before a big team fight. Also, it's still a flank watch operator. You still have the smokes. They're being used, but we don't always see that, unfortunately. And I don't know if it's the fact that we're not able to capture it that often, or really the fact that the operator hasn't had much luck and much effect so far on rounds, that leads me to say, yeah, he's not really been so effective.
Well, here's the part that's not talked about, though, is he also can identify if anyone's been there in that area. You can clear this map so much more effectively if you can identify, hey, no one's been here in like the last 90 seconds or whatever.
That's actually, that's an inadvertent buff to his fix, I guess.
Well, you really need to know the rotations of the map, though, for that to work effectively. So an example I like to give on that is for the way that Joystick used to enter Clubhouse through the jacuzzi wall. He would shotgun open the wall, check if anyone had been around that rotate, because you'd see if they rotated to the stairs or up or down the stairs, and you'd see if anyone gone to gym. So you've inadvertently cleared a lot of the top floor play just by looking through one hole, by not finding footprints. So something to consider as well as we get into this. Of course, going to start CCTV first, and there's the Maestro and the Echo, the 2 that I thought would be better bans. Both going to get played because they're available.
Yeah,
one was a 6th pick there.
They're so good, right? Yeah. Might as well.
And the Kaid for the hatches as well. They did bring a Maverick for redundancy, which means if the Thatcher dies or there's some tricking going on, they can still get the hatches open, because of course that's going to make it more difficult for Hibana. So they have some flexibility, but the Thermite being banned means the normal default take onto the site, very difficult to pull off accurately, because trying to line up 12x Kairos perfectly to get through to get a perfect hole is not very easy to do. Drone from Modiga just barely getting away behind the trash can. They do know what's going on service stairs. They could have actually pushed that while he was distracted and shot him in the back. They were not close enough with a 3-speed operator, as the only 3-speed they've actually brought. Oh no, 2, because they've got the 2 hard breachers that are 3-speed actually. Thermite being the only non-3-speed hard breacher. Modiga looking for some opportunities. Got to clear the barbed wire first though. They do take blue stairs pretty much uncontested though. That's a great start for Evil Geniuses, but
this is such a weird setup.
Yeah, no one dies from TSM until TSM actually goes back. Merc gets gotcha.
Oh, gotcha there.
Gotcha merked.
So unfortunate there, but this is such an odd setup from TSM. I cannot wait to read.
I like the shield
detail. Oh, NVK runs in, gets a kill, and there's the Evil Eye behind him that's actually doing a lot of work to him. You're going to keep on using that Evil Eye because it's going to get destroyed anyways. NVK can deal with that pretty simply. Young's going to come in, blast this wall open. You can't even move through that, by the way, so you're going to need to use the sledge. So you didn't really need to use the Zofia utility, but still fair enough. A lot of time wasted, but a lot of damage done to both crews.
Yeah, Pojo Man especially the important one here, but Geo, the nice little tip-tap on an NVK's face.
That's the power of the Pixel Peak from Garage.
Yeah, Maestro on that is so hard to fight.
Oh, I was spotted upstairs from the hatch. Nitrocell being readied as the push has already happened. It's going to force him out of it, and Mo is going to come around the corner and fire in to achieve.
Oh, too little, too late, though.
Bull is watching the hallway. If he wins it, it's on fight. Yes, he does. That's the big play, but Mo, last alive is Geo. Keep on spraying. He's got the Echo as well to support him. It didn't matter. At the end, the crossfire was set up perfectly here by TSM, and they forced EG to go for gunfights. And when you're trapped in red,
yeah,
that's no bueno.
That's the real problem there for EG, is that you had 2 ACOG players that, with intel that they're bringing, the Echo and the Maestro. Even if you discount their utility, 2 ACOGs playing back at angles that are very difficult to take out without some kind of flank, and the flank was not there from EG. In fact, their free server stairs almost turned into a one-dimensional push because of that. Also, they had to deal with the lack of getting the wall open the normal way, having to deal with all the shotgunned wall and sledging that. Seemed to throw them off a bit, but well played by TSM to take advantage of that. Teller's Archives time now. Let's see what they do here for Tellers. A site we've actually seen less.
Yeah, so here comes the setup from TSM. I wonder if they're going to play something odd this time around in comparison to what we see usually on Tellers, but really to see maybe they're pulling off something like in the previous round in the basement.
I think more often than not you're going to see CEO second, so I hope they have something intriguing or fascinating here for Tellers.
Fascinating. Oh man, have you been Googling up like synonyms?
I thought about it for a second.
I mean, it's completely fair, honestly. That's how you learn. A lot of people, by the way, a lot of people ask like, how do I become a better caster? It's not about, you know, just...
Especially when doing play-by-play, you really need to get huge vocabulary.
You need to work on your vocabulary. Like, open up the source, open any sort of...
The source, is that a dinosaur?
It's a Thesaurus, yes. So, open a dictionary, read, my man.
Read a book.
My lady, read. It really helps you.
That's why Reed is such a good player. God. That's why.
Good
happens. Well, they will have the Mozzie for some
stops.
drone denial here, but no mute to go with it. Although shooting a drone also works. Things get still pretty slow here from EG. Just trying to feel out this defense. I'm not sure if they were expecting Tellers, but if they were not, it takes a little bit longer to feel out what you're going to be doing on your push, because of course, a lot of times your comp is geared towards a specific site, although if you have a standard attack comp, you just have to you might have to deal with being in the wrong spawn, for example, for your take you want to do on the site. So things like that can slow you down if you end up going to the site you're not expecting. But they will also have to feel out what is the setup like before they make their push. As I said, Tellers is not as commonly played as it used to be. Repel here on the window using the G36 with the ACOG. Merc does get burned a little bit here, but not enough to push him out. Bullets, however, do a good job here, as I was saying, G36, and that's why. That long angle got you with the follow-up as well, and to achieve pretty good start. They took out one of the ACOG players in the process, and that's Achieved, who was going to be a big thorn in their side, but Geo at a sneaky flank finds one. Cannot confirm. Oh,
he'll get one. He's close to getting the second. Mo's on the floor.
The bait. Unfortunately, he cannot finish it.
Yeah, there you go. He's going to pick himself up. Polish superpowers.
Oh, that's even worse than getting picked up. And then
he gets...
Evil Eye.
Oh!
There we go.
That's...
Juicy. Traded, though, at least. Still man advantage to Evil Geniuses, even after all that.
That's going in the digest.
Yeah.
Here we are. Pojo, when does it come out?
That's true. That was from Pojo, too. I got to imagine he's going to keep that.
Well, 3v2 here. Because it's the Maestro, it's possible. And Gio goes one more. That's NVK.
Bomb located by attackers.
So...
That evens things up, finally.
Necrox and... Oh, do not peek up here. Gio is going to get tagged down around 30 HP.
He's trapped on this side now.
Maestro is running back inside of Talars, and Necrox going for the flank. This is actually the play looking for, but Pojo Man is holding off the perfect angle. There's 30 seconds left. Decent chunk of time here, and there's Necrox. He'll do one, but no! He's not going to push. Perfectly played. How do you deal with the player in the back? You can't. Pojo Man is forced to rotate away. He's going to walk in the hallway. He's going to make a lot of noise. No, he's there. He's there. He gets him. That's Necrox. Pojo Man will turn around now. He's looking for the 3K. Still has 49 bullets left in the magazine. This player laying down on the floor right outside of the window here in Archives. Pojo Man. Does he have any info? No, he does not. He doesn't know the player's right above or right below. He's going to try to long arm it. He's going to go for it. Young can just run on in and go for the fight. He'll go for a crossbow, gets shot in the back. There we go. There's no real way to find the player just lying down in this exact spot. It's so difficult, and Young wastes no time to capitalize.
I like that Young waited to make sure he was committing to it first. That's the way you want to do it. You don't want to jump through that window and then get turned around on shot. But good on Pojo Man for anticipating the player on main stairs coming up. He absolutely read into that, caught him off guard. Almost made that happen. We'll see CEO now. Tellers did not work. But hey, it's 1 for 1. Not a bad position to be in. EG, though, with a good take. Gio with a lot of sneaky plays. Almost helped even things out enough to win. There's the sneaky play to the Echo again, but this time for a different bomb site. But ACOGs play very well into this site. It is a little harder sometimes for Echo to sit safely. But there are some spots. We'll see if the attackers can get a little bit more aggressive this time, as they struggled with time management to be able to push into the site and get the plant down. As you mentioned, they took a little minute to get to the point where they actually could stick it, or feeling safe enough to stick it, just because of the trades back and forth. This can be a tricky site to take, because very often you have to decide, are you going to go from the back square side and open up walls, in which case you don't have thermite to do that, so it becomes a lot trickier, especially if there's impacts available. Or do you go for a banana push or even a main stairs push through conference? There's a few different ways to approach this, but with Maestros and Evil Eyes, you're not likely to catch anyone by surprise. And that's the problem for attackers here. They need to find some way to surprise and get in there, or at least just storm in with enough kills to make it work and play some kind of manpower advantage. Because like I said, they're going to have the ACOGs, but they've also got the Pulse. They're going to have C4s on board, most likely from the Mozzie and the Pulse itself. So a lot working in TSM's favor on this defense that Evil Geniuses are going to have to surmount. The upside is they do have the IQ to be able to spot a lot of the gadgetry, and including the Pulse himself while he's on his heartbeat sensor. They also have the Captau to do some work here. Captau very strong on this particular map, and this particular bomb site as well, pretty good.
I love the word gadgetry.
Gadgetry. It sounds fancier than it really is.
It sounds like somebody, like said by someone whose name is Fortnum, and he has, and it is an actual thing. It is an actual name, and has like a monocle and a top hat on.
One hope.
Fortnum. I just realized, recognize it from a tea brand, but I didn't know actually people are called Fortnum.
Well,
back in like 1700s or whatever.
Getting creative, I guess.
Fortnum, Mr. Fort.
Let's bring it back. We'll name one of our children that. Oh, that was a nice shot.
Good night.
The perfect timing on that catch too, just right to the chin. Well, that's Captau down. That is a really good initial pick. I mean, IQ might have been a good one as well, but I feel like killing the Captau was probably the best early pick of those.
It just relieves so much pressure on you when it comes to the rappel, right? So you don't have to deal with the windows as much. But I say that, actually, Necrox is on the rappel, and he takes down Merc.
Took his place. Worthwhile trade, though. Well, that's for the Echo. At least his Yokai are still going to be up, but Bolo takes out the Zofia. That's going to be pretty useful for those Maestro Evil Eyes to stay alive. Maestro himself trying to do just that. Trying to fight two different angles at once. Going to rotate around. Catches the player here.
Oh, no.
That's top spiral diffuser down. Trapped. There's probably yokais in
Oh! Bolo, the 3K in the round now. It still has ammo left in the magazine.
Speaking of digests,
It's all on Necrox, and they can all run out at the same time from every single window if they wanted to.
he's got to rotate. But what is he going to do? Continue in his friend's footsteps and go up spiral again? He's got to get diffuser.
Looks like it. Bolo's being given information here. Wants to get maybe some more kills. Necrox is set up by the ATMs in the front lobby. He's going to throw the drone in and will drone himself in. There's 30 seconds left, and every single rifle is trained at him. Oh my, he's going to get shot to bit. I cannot watch.
Yeah, this is timeout time. I don't know if you'd want to... All right, go for it.
Okay, they know what's going on. And you see instantly all the players kind of turning around
Right.
the other side.
15 seconds left.
Necrox trying to find an angle here as Bolo had already dropped down, so won't be able to collect a 4th kill this round. But as you said, this is the timeout zone. You sit
5
back.
seconds left.
Don't shoot him in the face.
Target practice.
It's a real estate agent, I guess.
Yeah.
Operators, you have run out
No
of
more
time.
housing bubbles.
Yeah, popping those. Well, Necrox, unfortunately, in an unwinnable position, did manage to at least get the 1 kill on Merc, which was helpful. But just too many people lost. Bolo on that 3K, really doing some work for his team that round. So, looking pretty good for that CO defense. They're going to try Tellers one more time. They can go back to CCTV, though, so it's interesting that they choose to, or sorry, it's fascinating that they choose to go to... Nope, never mind, they changed their mind.
He's becoming self-aware.
Right? A Skynet, here I come. So they will smartly go back down. They're like, wait a minute, we can play that? Oh, yeah, yeah. Bolo again trying to keep it entertaining. So we saw last time the strength
Attackers
of
need
their
to
play
locate and
from the
defuse as many
garage
bombs
with
as
the
they
Maestro
can.
Echo. You got to imagine the Evil Geniuses are going to think we need to either go down main stairs or we need to come in through garage. They need to cover that flank. They need to put some kind of pressure, or even potentially hope they can deal with it by just coming down vault drop. That's a risky way to do it. I don't imagine that's going to be the play, but this is a tough thing to contest. Those angles. You talk about those pixel peaks through the bars, the way you play far back, the fact that it's 2 ACOG players that also provide 2 gadgets that provide extra intel that are very difficult to deal with, because one of them being nigh invisible and still able to ping, and the other one being semi-indestructible and still able to ping. So it becomes very difficult to do anything sneaky, and then what do you do on top of that? You throw in a pulse and gold vault, and good luck getting anything by these defenders, especially when they're on point. We'll see if they try. They could even go for some kind of different push. And it was funny, too, because last round they were pretty much given server stairs for free. And it just didn't do them a whole lot of good.
Yeah, but you don't have to hold on to server stairs, right? You can hold on to servers themselves. It's a time game, right? As you're saying, like you're not gonna stay there the entirety of the round.
I say time game, but how often have we seen like a smoke or someone else with a shotgun lay down like 3 people on there?
Whose mistake is that?
Well, it seems to be a frequent one.
Drone's active.
So obviously going to drone it right now, see what they're up against. What do we have to deal with on the stairs? There's no Mozzie or Mutant plate to deny these drones, so he doesn't have to worry too much about pushing in there.
At least there's no caught in here, so a Chief can just fall back. This is TSM playing for the standard defensive lineup, but it actually put Merc in precarious position.
Ooh.
I think at this point, TSM know that, you know what, if we lose him, that's okay. We have the pulse to give him the info. That EMP might actually stop the pulse from giving any information by disabling his heartbeat sensor.
Depends on the range, but Merc finds one from the drone hole or the hatch anyways, and he's got a pocket ADS to put up to keep alive here.
Bo's going to take down Achieved, so losing the pulse here definitely does not help.
That wasn't the play.
Those are the quote-unquote Mira shields, the new ones that we have, plus, of course, the Evil Eye that did a lot of damage on its own in the previous round.
I kind of wonder if this is better than holding server stairs in some ways.
Honestly, it might be. You just have to have Merc on your team, I guess. He changed his angle, and they're trying to stun him, and there's the pre-fire. He gets 1, he gets 2, that's a 3K now for Merc. He's looking for more to drop on in. Zofia is right up behind, and he's actually going to stick the servers here. Diffuser is being watched as we speak. Turns the corner, pre-fires, but there's one waiting for him. A bit too low. Oh. Pull up your angle. You'd wish you had a pulse right now to give you the information. But Merc is going to get flashed He fires one up. He gets pushed, and finally, Merc is going to be dispatched. But the amount of time that this has burned is just insane. A 3v2 with the Zofia having used pretty much their entire pocket of utility. You want to plant, there's smoke, there's Echo, Yokai, and there's Geo with that Alda. You should not be anywhere near victory in this. Go for the side plant. The Maverick's going to fail, and the charge is going to be thrown right into him. Bolo will do a lot of damage and win the gunfight against Young. That's your flank dead. Necrox at half HP. Keep on firing. No more gas canisters to use.
Seconds left.
He's just faking. Necrox is the one left pretty much every single round right now. And he's baiting them out.
It doesn't work when you have this intel.
It's not going to happen. He knows it. It's a done deal. You can't really fault him. The mistakes happened by pushing everybody into server. Nobody went through the garage. Even if you went there, you would have to face the Maestro in that position. There's nobody utilizing a Habana. Where's that? Can we introduce, her to be used effectively to open up more of the hatches? Because right now, it doesn't seem to be the case. Kind of forgetting the red hatch.
Yeah. Merc's position seeming to work out. He pocket ADS'd it, lost the shield, but still fought it in a good position. It is always difficult to deal with a Jaeger behind server stack, as you pretty much have to use utility like stuns and things like that to be able to try and slow down his ability to fight back. Capital Firebolt's also very useful in that case, so you can kind of burn him out a little bit. But that being said, he did pretty well. I think Capital would have been the best answer just because ADSs do nothing for that. But at the same time, I don't think they had it that round, so kudos to TSM now, doing quite well here. This is a map that EG have a great history on, but TSM have the lead right now. Tellers was the struggle for them. Now they do go back to it because they won their other two sites, CEO and CCTV. They don't want to play open. Bulletproof cam already put up by Achieve.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
It's going to be playing those long angle ACOGs. They're not bringing the Echo this time. So, no, this time meaning compared to when they played CEO. Sorry, not Tellers. They will have the castle. Something you don't necessarily see a ton for Tellers, but it can be useful, especially for helping with the top floor. See Geo, for example, castling off the stock room, a common entry place for a lot of attackers. That will slow down, or at least notify if, say, a lifeline is used to open it, or an ash breach. That will be a large sound, as opposed to just dealing with a wooden barricade that can be pre-fired through. Young got to worry about jump outs, already pre-placing a Claymore to deal with them. We saw them actually in the previous round, the one where Necrox was desperately trying to do something. There was also one there because it being a common jump out. You have to worry about those. This is a map that has a lot of those. At least there's no Valkyrie in play, though. That is usually a big threat to that. Or a Pulse. Canadian was famous for using Pulse to identify when there's players out there and then jump out on them as well. But I don't think that's likely to happen in this current setup, but you never know. A lot of caution on entry here as they've already lost 3 rounds. They've got to be careful not to lose too many attack rounds because it puts them in such a deficit on the other side. Because it ends up a 5-1, it's really hard to come back from that sometimes.
Still right now, the more time you're burning... Oh my
God! Jump out anyways, and he can get himself back up from the Claymore!
Oh my God.
Achieved with the 10,000 IQ jump out.
That's the play?
That was the play.
Right. There's nobody can even do anything to him right now.
He himself up too to fight this. Now, he's got to expect this push. NVK coming around, but is Achieved watching the right angle? Nope. Still, though, the amount of time burnt. And the capped out. Again, the
Did
first
it show a
pick here.
detection?
Yeah, I imagine.
I don't know. I couldn't see it on the screen.
Yeah. That was a play by Achieved, though. He'd been dying a lot earlier in the rounds. This time he made it really worth it.
He made it worth it. He killed Young. He took down the Capitao. Instrumental on the site. And burned a lot of time. That's really the most important part of it. Not only are you doing work and trading efficiently and effectively, but making sure that EG are always on the back foot.
Yeah. That
they always have to fight an uphill battle.
Young's got to feel so dumb for like, I got this Claymore here, this will protect me. And then it's stock that jumps out. What are the odds?
Well, at least it got a refrag out.
Tip to future players, if you jump out as Doc, you might survive Claymores. Ooh, Merc with a nice follow-up on a Necrox. Well, he doesn't have to worry about being last man alive this round.
That's...
I don't know that that's what you want to do, but hey, Merc says that's fine. I'll okay. End your life, and now it's NVK and Gotcha to try and clutch it.
Oh, finally, Gotcha's gonna find the kill, but a bit too late. There's little HP left on him as the Habana. There's still NVK that actually went into sight. He'll take down one, but it's the refrag from Geo immediately.
Geo and Gotcha versus each other. But this time Geo at the higher health, he says, sub this.
Who's going to take the spot? Well, it's Geo. Sub this. As you say, there's Gotcha out and about. Oh my.
TSM looking very good on Bank so far.
Man, they are... Merc has just been insane.
This is Merc's season from the looks of things. Whatever was not working before is working for them this season. I mean, they may not even win this, but even if they don't, Merc has just been playing fantastic. Like every play day this season. So very impressive from him. CEO again here for the next try. That's the first of their sites rotated back into rotations. They did what Kix likes to call the full cycle of the moons.
The Roto.
Yeah, what the Roto? Ooh, the 6-pick to the Echo. Not going to really bring the dock. But ACOG either way. A similar gun as well. Slightly weaker, I believe, for Echo's gun. But nonetheless, when the name of the game is headshots, it doesn't necessarily matter. Especially when you get that extra intel. I mean, you could bring the bulletproof camera with Doc, but why not bring 2 Yokais instead if they're available, right? Might as well. Yeah, you can't stim yourself up, but you could certainly get a lot of extra intel. Plus, the Bearing 9 is a fun secondary. Something that Doc doesn't get. Well, of course, see this consistent Bolo Maestro play. A lot of Maestro. They left them available, and they better use them very well on their side. I tell you what, when it comes around, because Bolo's doing a great job. Geo on this Pulse again. Gonna have a lot of intel again. Pulse, Maestro, Echo. Evil Genius is really at the intel deficit, for sure. There's so little to bring in. The IQ is really the only intel they're going to be getting anything from, other than their drones. And they have the Mozzie on top of that to be able to slow those down. So a really good composition from TSM to just really put EG in a tough spot. Young, again, very concerned. Are you going to put that same Claymore down and hope it works this time? Actually, the Doc.
There's no Doc.
Also, well, he saw a Doc in the lineup, but it was 6th pick off, so he could anticipate that there's still a Doc again.
So I'm going to double Claymore you this time.
that could work.
Survive.
I'm not entirely sure if it
witch.
triggers them both, and I would be interested to test that. But Merc, the first to die, great initial kill. That was probably one of the best initial kills they could get outside of him and Bolo.
It's Merc, number 1,
Yeah.
and it's an Echo.
Yeah.
And keeping in mind, this is CEO, so
Yeah.
obviously can do a lot of work, give you
Taking
a
an
lot of
ACOG off?
information. Yeah, it's an ACOG off. So overall, great trade there.
Yeah.
NVK take a bit of damage in the engagement, but
Worth
all
it.
completely worth it.
Yeah. There's still a Jaeger on the board, but it happens to be achieved this time instead of Merc. They've swapped that up. A lot more utility going on. You're talking about the Habana being used, and it's definitely being used now to open things up. They are getting a lot of drone work done, but losing the drones in the process means they're going to be going in a little bit blind because they were not prepared to actually act on that information into Janitor Closet. They're going to try and open up some angles so he can send a Capital Firebolt over the top into Janitor. I like that. He's got to coordinate it, though, with Modiga so that once the player is pushed out, Modiga's ready to get the kill. You see them setting up here. The Firebolt go out. It is potentially going to force the player out of Janitor, but there we go. Modiga with the kill. That's the setup they were going for, but lost a lot of health in the process.
He goes for the gunfight without utilizing his
Stuns,
which is something that a lot of Zofia players have been kind of getting into.
Stun him while he's trying to get out of the fire. That's ideal.
Exactly.
Oh, achieved here in a position there, not anticipating.
There's one player in the lobby though, so gotta be careful. I don't know if he's watching achieved right now, but
TSM definitely on the back foot man advantage wise though.
oh yes, 3v5. Bolo can do a lot of work, but Geo doesn't have a nitro, and really it's Bolo the only one that's actually on the site.
Speaking of Geo,
He gets 2, he pops off. That's Gotcha and Mo down. Geo's gonna have to run on downstairs and still continue to hold on to this run.
that would huge advantage to TSM because they've got the intel advantage. Those Yokai's still probably providing intel unless they've been taken out by Necrocs. And it's defense, 30 seconds left.
EG too slow here on the response. NVK is going to have to run on up. There's a Maestro around the corner, but it's Necrocs that actually takes him out. Achieved. He's now on the top of the skylight.
Sneaky
He has line of sight. Necroc's going to go in for the plant, but oh man, if he can get the... Oh, he drops. The Ash is pretty much done right now. Coming around the corner, shooting your own teammate's body here as he was dropping on the floor. Does he know that the IQ is planting in a which position? Yes! Achieved, denies it! The round's pretty much over! You can't do anything as the Capital, and Young is dead regardless! Geo, the 4K collecting all! Oh my! TSM with the retake!
I was talking about that 5-1 you don't want to be on.
Extraordinary.
Now they on it.
Extraordinary is the word.
Merc reserving his good night for the very end.
That is wise.
This is, I mean, you kill Merc right off the bat, you're in a good position. Maybe not, because you got players like Geo, who this is why they banned the Jackal. I mean, actually, it was EG that banned the Jackal. What am I saying? They shouldn't have banned the Jackal. Maybe they would have been able to catch Geo off, because that's twice now with the ump, whether he's Castle or Pulse, sneaking around, doing his thing. NBK going to try and sneak over to that Pulse as well, but Mozzie's so good. Feels like an unfortunate trade to trade one for the other. They want that Kaid, though, to deny the hatches. There is going to be the Maverick to be able to open those regardless. Hojo going to be on that Habana hard breach duty. We'll see how it works out without the Echo Maestro combo that TSM were bringing. Very likely here we see TSM get their 1 point at the very least, because it's going to take 4 rounds in a row for EG to even tie this up, and 5 in a row to guarantee themselves 1 point. So not the best position to be in, to say the least. But TSM look like they've been on fire, even when they're down man sometimes. Just sneaky plays from players like Geo or Merc just going off, things like that, really working out. But now we'll see how they go on attack. There's a similar lineup from the attackers. Difference is they're not really bringing like a Capitao. I think Capitao was good, but Young was just really struggling sometimes on that. He was effective, though, in setting up for the kill in the Janitor Closet, but ultimately they didn't win that round even. So, just, I guess, didn't work out in his hands. Bolo, one of his operators he likes to play quite a bit. Zofia, going to be playing that entry here.
It's a great operator, of course. Flexibility of Zofia as an op. It's close to catching. MVK will take 25 HP damage there, as the bullet is pretty much at its maximum range.
He's trying to play it like Pulse, like his Poppy Troy taught him. But Dad, I want to be like you now that you're gone. I'm the new Canadian. Well, drones coming out, though, and as I said, no Mozzie, no denial of those drones, because no mute either. Merc can take a little bit of damage there, but you know what? That's just, it's stimulating, really. Just a little tickle.
Shock.
Yeah. Angle onto main stairs, of course. A little tap firing coming out as well to try and prevent any rotates that could come to kill Merc while he does his duty on the hatch there. Very important. This is the trickier hatch to deal with, of course, if it gets Electroclawed, as they don't have a Thatcher to be able to deal with that, because you don't want to be standing openly out in that middle trying to hit it with the blowtorch. But they are going to try and fight. See, now, the difference here is EG's actually fighting blue stairs, something we didn't really see much from TSM. So we'll see if that works out. Necrox, so he's been playing smoke on bank since a million years ago. So this is not at all unusual. He knows this role very well.
I mean, Necrox has been playing smoke since literally before smoke came out. So it's pretty crazy what the man can do on the op. It's really holding off, burning a lot of time. Shotgun around the corner as there's the stuns. The stun a bit too slow there to support the grenade, but Necrox gets 2 out of it. Close to the third. Pojo at half HP. That's Mo to fire back. You talked about it,
I talked about the great sacrifice on server stairs. Will wonders never cease that players keep trying. However, that being said, Merc does bring it back a little bit, taking out NBK now, and Necrox is dead. Modiga, very low health. It wouldn't be too hard to even this up. They still have to deal with the Maestro and Kaid, though, that TCSG, as we talked about earlier, a very brutal weapon. The Alda also very good. And the 416, no slouch.
Oh, good shot from
there we
behind.
go.
Geo walks in pretty much blind. It's up to Merc to try and recover the round here. 25 seconds left. He's the man that can, but
time is not on his side.
Time is not in his hands. Rhyming today. Merc's going to walk into A. He's being watched by the Evil Eye.
10 seconds to go.
Sitting down on the floor. Peeking around every corner. They're watching. He keeps on pre-firing, but he's going to get shot on the front. That's Mo. Sitting at the gold vault. All the way down Red Hall.
The upside now for TSM, though, is that's now the best bomb site. Unavailable for 2 more rounds. And guess what? All they got to do is win 2 rounds to take this. If the other 2 bomb sites are not as well defended because they can't hold server stairs, then TSM walk away with a 5 or a 7-2 if it were that situation. So TSM in not too bad of a position. They've got to lose these 2 rounds in a row before it goes back to an advantage to EG to catch it up. Like I said, they're 1 away from match point. So Gotcha going to bring out the Goyo, and the 6th pick actually going to come from the dock. What's it going to be to this time? The Mozzie. They realized intel denial with this mute, very helpful, especially on this bomb site. Geo with the high IQ 6th pick, the IQ to IQ.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
See where those shields end up getting put up from Gotcha as well. It looks like he's running around in circles a little bit, trying to figure that out. Trying to decide what strategy he wants to use. Catches Pojo Man's drone, but they do have an idea there's a Goyo now. They weren't sure before that if you got 6th pick off. You did see one shield go up in that hallway near the janitor door. Of course, you got to barricade all those windows, whether you do with castle or wood. And then, of course, the Evil Eye, where Young's putting that very common to have on that spot to be able to watch. It can watch down both sides, Banana as well as the long hall down towards Soda Machine. So very, very beneficial camera to have. But it also is at a position where it can be somewhat safely lifelined if they take control of the elevators there from the main stairs. But that is easier said than done. A lot of times that could be coming from an entry, though, from stock. If they come through there up to the Soda Machine, they might be able to just take out that Evil Eye. Now, you see those barricades as well, the reinforcements rather, on the wall. That's going to make it difficult for them to shoot down that. But with a Hibana and they not necessarily needing a lot of Hibana utility, if they don't want to go around the back wall, they could use it to open up angles. And that's something that we see pretty common. Might see Pojo Man do exactly that here if he goes for the repel. Looks like he's doing that. So, perfect. Young just watching the hallways. Unfortunately, the Goyo shield is placed in a way he cannot hit it with the Evil Eye, and I think that's poor placement. The combination of the two is so strong, because you could somewhat safely trigger that if you see them coming up the stairs. That feels like a little bit of a misplay.
I really want to look at that angle again,
Yeah.
if possible, but still. Yeah. Bolo's checking. Of course, this is the powerhouse of the Hibana, allowing you to kind of peer into the hallway. It kind of negates the entire setup. And I wonder
There's a lot of rotations as well.
I think this also takes down the Evil Eye that's behind it.
It's possible. It depends on the explosion. I think I'm not entirely sure. But if not,
I don't know where exactly the Evil Eye was placed, but
it looks
this
like it was on
should have
the
been.
wall, but not on the actual reinforcements, specifically to prevent that situation, I believe.
Fair enough. Something we'll be checking on, I guess, some point during this round. We actually get to the action around in 90.
Yep. They're working on it. They're working on it. No one dead or hurt just yet. Just a lot of work coming on the objectives. Oop.
You get the info? They should have spotted the player walking.
Oh, there goes one Goyo shield, but yeah,
And
the take out a VK. Now that's Mozzie down. It's a C4 off the board. Very important when you can play underneath.
Why would the Mozzie be doing this anyways? You don't need to walk out that open. And Chief has a drone right in front of him here to give him the info, and indeed, he'll be able to spot one player. I believe is the other. Is downstairs.
This is what they need to find. I think they're really relying on Mozzie's pests to enable the roamers a lot more, but plus what Geo is getting away with, right? You think, well, if Geo can do it, but NVK so far shut down on that, and Mo may not fare better here.
I think Joystick put it the best. Drone first, then kill.
Yeah, it's a simple formula.
It really is. Like, you cannot get it anywhere.
Real good summary of attack strats.
It really is. You wait for your drone to come in, and then work will be done.
Looks like we saw the Evil Eye there. Oh, he's waiting for the push. Merc was on top of that. He might get pushed again, but the timing has to be right. C4 just completely wrong. Modiga does find one on that flank that we were watching on Geo, ironically enough. CIQ down. Not the most important kill, but certainly a good one, especially how Geo's been playing. They do spot another Evil Eye that's watching CEO. They're going to want to take that out if possible. And luckily for... Oh, no, Bolo's out of them. I'm sorry.
There's so little time. You walk on in, but Gotcha's laying on the floor. He's trying to do work right behind the CEO desk. Merc pushing up into the site. You already got one kill on Gotcha. Pick up the diffuser. Go for the plant. Oh, no, he gets shot right at it. No! The diffuser laid down at the bottom of the reinforcement, and the crucial kill that ended the round.
Well,
oh my God, you gotta be kicking yourself after that one.
Modiga's nice flank, though, definitely helped lowering their manpower, but yeah, it really came down to timing, and Gotcha playing in a smart position actually worked out to an extent, being able to buy that extra time. Also, the lack of lifelines to be able to take out the Evil Eye. It's likely at least one was... Well, we saw one used on a Goyo shield. It's likely at least one was used on another Evil Eye, potentially, the one that was at the top of the stairs, possibly, and maybe another Goyo shield. We saw the one that was, I believe, destroyed by Janitor as well, or in the hallway. 6th pick over to the Ash here. As you know what, he might get more value out of having extra utility to destroy Evil Eyes and things like that. But in this case, actually, it's just going to be castle barricades to worry about. Teller's now the site that's a little rougher to fight. if EG lose it, yes, they can go back to CCTV, but they do so with a maximum of 1 point to be gained from the match. So TSM in a pretty good position as long as they don't throw it, especially with no Maestro or Echo who've been so useful. Young going to be on that pulse though, so they will have a little bit of extra intel. And the Mozzie still trying to deny, but no Mozzie mute combo to, as we heard earlier, really annoying to deal with to deny those drones. So they can drone first, didn't kill, as you said. See if that 6 pick from Geo pays off. He can play a decent Ash. He needs to. It's interesting to see the castle barricades, how much they dedicate to top floor versus dedicating to other areas they may want to play. It is good support for roamers, really. Just delaying the amount of time it takes, or extending the amount of time, rather, that it takes to find and kill the roamers upstairs, and then just slow down their top floor control so that players like the Sledge here don't get as much time to play from above and find picks, so they end up burning more time and end up in a more desperate play at the end. But if they have the utility like they do now with Zofia, Ash, and Achieved on Sledge, I don't think those castle barricades are going to do a whole lot of delaying.
No, and again, you can burn through them with all those ops. You have breach charges as well. So in general, the castle barricades, the moment that you can get up close to them, they're not going to last for long.
No, I mean, a Sledge gets them for free, basically.
There you go. And there's no Maestro as well, so we don't have to deal with Evil Eyes and such. There might be one bulletproof camera. I'm not sure if NVK is bringing one in this round. Oh, there we go. That's the one that they want. There's Gotcha, actually,
yeah,
who's the one that's bringing it.
Could actually both be bringing it because they got no Maestro. If they want to go with essentially 2 unmovable Evil Eyes.
That's a very good point.
We'll see if we take a peek at NVK.
Oh!
Nice ping. Good timing from his teammate. Although it does get traded by Gotcha on Achieved.
Merc, he even dropped Gotcha! He dropped him on the floor! Merc going in for the pre-fire. But you see that the castle's just down.
Wow, they're like, they got him back up, and there's a dock to stim him back up. So it's not actually the worst thing to happen, because Gotcha will be no more worse for the wear. And good trade there as well. NVK taking down Pojo means no more hard breach of any kind, except for Maverick, who's not really going to do a whole lot with that blowtorch anyways.
I think very quickly Merc is becoming one of, the people's champion, I guess. It's trying to take that away from Beacon. But
Hess denying a rotate to that.
Oh, Bolo coming in. There's somebody on top of those spiral stairs. Merc might be going in for this push into the Archives B site. Oh, peek around the corner. Goes for the long angle. He's got Geo as well in support. They both fire in. They lose one player, but there's Geo to slap down too. Gotcha, Necrocs are down. Diffuser can be set. Spolo's doing a lot of work here, opening things up for a post-plant position. He has one angle to watch. There pre-fires. Oh, NVK! He threads it, but the diffuser's already been set. Now Geo lies down on the floor.
Oh.
He's getting all the information. Those flank drones are in. Geo with a 3K. NVK is dead. Last alive is Mo. Sitting right behind the printer. Geo waiting for the peek. He finds it. He keeps on firing through. He kills the alibi. Mo actually loses the gunfight, and Geo clutches it again.
The dirtiest angles. Geo just playing so smart.
Oh my god.
He didn't change positions. He changed to 3 different angles.
The man is just cool as a cucumber, and he puts TSM on map and match point. I cannot believe it. I cannot, but honestly, like, this is such a different TSM than last season.
It really is, and this is the TSM we were eventually expecting to see.
Yep.
Bolo fans out there could be excited that their team is doing
Everybody's
better
doing
this time.
great.
Yeah. So, now they can't go back to CCTV. Will they sacrifice 3 more players to Necrocs, the smoke god at the top of the stairs? Let's hope not, for TSM's sake. I'm not saying that as in I want TSM to win particularly, but
Just don't make that
mistake. It is a dumb play. I dislike seeing that happen because it's just like...
I has the big dumb.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
It's hard to
attackers.
watch.
It just happens. Unfortunately, in that previous round, what they wanted to do was use Zofia Lifeline, so Gzmot first, stunning the smoke, and then the grenade sailing literally at the same time, cooked correctly so it just kills the smoke behind.
Here's the problem I have. Thatcher is available. You bring Thatcher, you can clear out all the ADSs at once if they're not pocket. And even if they are pocket, it's got to be Jaeger to place them. Smoke can't place them. So he ends up using a smoke canister to cover while Jaeger places.
And you know what on top? The Valkyrie's banned, first of all, but I think TSM are afraid of an Echo being brought out at some point, but EG aren't even thinking about it.
Well, that's the thing is the Thatcher would also not only disable a Yokai if you placed it, if you hit it above the site, because it's going to be on the roof likely. It would also disable Pulse temporarily from being able to use his heartbeat sensor. So I don't know. I would like to have seen a Thatcher. It's not banned, so it's available to do. That being said, you know, they have the lineup they want to use, but they had to know it's going to be CCTV again. They're not going to try tellers again after that when they don't have to. So, well, we're just being thorough here, making sure lone office is clear as well before you can go drone the hallway. Sheath following the drone. Take as little time as possible to clear top floor.
Drone first, then kill.
Yep, let's see if the then kill comes out. Those angles, there's a lot of good stairwells on different maps where you can hit like have a nice long sharp angle either down or up. It's very advantageous to do so from 2 floors up, as is typical for a buck anyways. And Bolo also just tap firing to make sure no one rotates up.
Yeah.
He did previously. He's forming a little bit of a pattern here though.
Watching white stairs, and this is what you want to do. A lot of teams will have their player walk on in from... Oh, there we go. Finally, Pojo is going to come off the cameras. Now you can finally see what it's like when you're playing a support player.
See, the other thing, too, is if they had the Thatcher, they could just hop onto that hatch. Because they both Electric Claws are up already. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in the lack of Thatcher. Just because of this setup's the same. Necrox gets 1 already. You better win this fight achieved. If you guys just push in and die again, for shame.
You can't even stun him at this point. Necrox is playing this so smartly. More to the midway of the blue stairs. Yeah, losing the Habana is not great.
No, but you know, it wasn't going to do anything anyways, let's be honest, except for plant.
Grenade's going to be cooked around here. Merc is ready.
Don't blow up your teammate. Make sure not to overcook it.
Flashbang.
They're really trying to time this right, but that burns another smoke. A little bit of time as well, but the more smokes you can burn, the faster, the better.
I guess Necrox knows that he's going to lose out. Yeah, there we go. He falls back. The grenade is not set correctly. Necrox keeps on firing. It's another flashbang.
There we
go.
go.
The moment to push. Keeps on firing, and
Well
you see how the ADSs are all set at this entirety of the stairs just to make sure that even if he falls back, he can still survive. But now you have to deal with the Jaeger in the back, and Merc usually is the guy for it. But Mo doing a ton of work here for being shot down finally.
Still 2 for 2, 3v3 here. Not a bad place to be in, but 30 seconds, not great.
Smoke dead, but there's still a pulse up, and there's supposedly at least 1 nitro cell, expecting 2 nitro cells in. Clyde even zapping the barbed wire, so you'll be required to jump on top of it. There's still a stun grenade and an explosive one to be used here by Bolo. Drone to watch into
I saw Gotcha was down as well.
Oh, that's the kill! Gio turns around, gets 1. There's nobody inside of the garage. Go for it! Achieved! What? How did he even kill him? I don't even know. TSM just collapse. He just stick to the site.
That was such a swift execution.
What happened?
They drone got enough intel. They knew how to play it at that point. Called all of the positions. Gotcha was downed. Gio came around, got the 1 kill they needed, and just a swift execution at that point. Fantastic play by TSM, though. This is the TSM that we were expecting to see.
Look at that, 16-3. What?
Gio and Merc. So I gotta say, I think Gotcha's awesome, but the trade for Gio, TSM's favor, really went TSM's favor.
16-3.
And then 11 right below that.
16-3.
First drone, then kill. A lot of then kill. That was a very, very good play by TSM. I am definitely impressed because I wasn't sure they could keep up their streak from the previous 2 play days because they'd been looking very good, and it was like, can they keep this up?
Dude,
the answer is yes.
That's a 5.3 KD in the long game. It's 16 kills to 3 deaths.
That's a good point. I didn't think about the deaths part.
5.3.
His rating's got to be off the charts. I hope he's the highlight player.
Good God, like
Gio, showing
what
up.
tamales do you feed this man? Because honestly,
sneaky
what do you
guy.
put in it?
It was just his sneaky creeps, his angles he was playing. He was playing very smart, playing with his head. Gio, we know, is a smart player. He really gave us a great demonstration of that whole match.
And then you add on top the work that you had Merc doing, the work that Bolo was doing. Overall, and it was all enabled by Pojo on his drones.
I mean, the only thing you say is Achieved could have done more.
And even then, it's like, well,
Did he
if he's
need
taking
to?
all the kills,
Yeah.
and he's the one that's also droning, flexing, helping out with Pojo. this is a team effort.
Yeah.
This is TSM like we haven't seen them before.
And it's not necessarily EG playing badly. TSM are playing very well. So
they're literally finding every single tiny hole, even to put a drone in it to give them info to play off of. Like, I don't know, I'm just very impressed. I can't wait to see what TSM does at Invitational because, as everybody knows, of course, they qualified there because they won DreamHack Montreal. So
yeah. Could they be a potential LAN contender here for a favorite?
Interview, though. Let's have a quick chat. Achieved! Welcome back. Congratulations on your victory. I see that smug smile in your face. You're pretty happy, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we made a lot of mistakes today, but I mean, I'm glad we were able to like step up and actually like win the game now, I think.
I really want to look at the biggest mistake. This that happened twice in this game. It happens to a lot of people. When it comes to pushing a smoke or any other operator from those blue stairs to attack into the basement servers, how do you do that? How do you time it correctly with all your teammates? Because it seems to be a big point of contention, a big problem for a lot of people. There seems to be so many moving parts.
Yeah, so in order for us to do that, you know, we need like three people, and in order for us to actually do that, we all three have to be on the same page. Like we all three have to be working together, knowing when to stun, knowing when to nade, not pushing too early in the smokes. Like one round I pushed too early in the smoke, and I think that ended up costing us the round because I couldn't shoot really. I could, but like I couldn't see anything. So we all just really, we have to be on the same page there, and I think like not only that round, but a lot of other rounds today, like our coordination was kind of off, and I think it hurt us.
And what was the mindset behind not bringing the Thatcher at all? It wasn't banned, and usually we would see that to kind of make things a lot easier when it comes to specifically that box skylight take.
Yeah, well, we knew that Echo was up. Even though Valk was banned, we knew Echo was going to be up, so we figured that they might want a 6 to the Echo and that we can burn ADSs like without Thatcher. We don't really need Thatcher. It would make it a little easier, but like we shouldn't really need it. We can just bring the IQ to help us with like any Echo drones that they happen to bring up.
I guess the strategy in general, especially for your attacking side, is as Joystick has coined the term now in the sentence, drone then kill, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's very visible there. But again, congratulations on your victory. Anything you'd like to say to all the TSM fans out there?
Thank you to all the fans. Thank you to the org, TSM. Thank you to all the fans for supporting us. Thank you to everyone. Thanks for the haters too. We appreciate that. And I really can't believe they let Gio go, to be honest with you.
Hey, man. You got the good trade at the end of it. The man is just insane. I mean, 16-3? You're all enablers. You know that. You're guilty.
Yeah, we are.
It's the first time anyone's ever going to be happy of being guilty of something. That said, we'll see you in a couple of days for your game against Luminosity. Till then, good night.
Thank you. Good night.